In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can change the appearance of this very simple arrangement that only uses 2 flowers by adding in some extra flowers and some different greenery. Keep watching if you want to see what I can do. In the previous video, I created a very simple arrangement that was ideal for beginners. And what I'm going to do is just take out the taller foliages and I'll keep those aside to use them in something else. And I'm going to add some bigger, rounder flowers to create a more of a massed design. So massed means that there are lots of flowers grouped close and tightly together. This arrangement as it is now has a lot of negative space, and negative space is when there are gaps within the arrangement itself. And by adding lots more flowers into the arrangement and reducing the amount of negative space, I'll be able to give the illusion of a very different style design. And I'm going to do that by adding in some bigger roses and a different type of greenery. So we've got very floaty, airy type greenery in the arrangement so far. And now I'm going to add in a Heuchera. So this is a garden foliage. Everything that I've got in this arrangement at the moment is a florist grade flower. You could replace the Gerbera with a single flower. You could replace the spray roses with some spray carnations or some lisianthus. But what I'm going to do now is put in a bigger, bolder foliage, which is really going to change the dynamics and the look of the design. So if you're looking for something that's quite lightweight and quite airy, then you want to use the greeneries that I've got in so far. The fern doesn't have a great deal of density to it. It's quite floaty and quite airy. And by just adding in a few of the Heuchera around the outside, it's really going to change the dynamic of the arrangement and add in a little bit of visual weight. It's a completely different textured and shaped greenery, so it gives a really good contrast. And if you don't have the Heuchera that I luckily have grown in the garden, then you could use something like a galax leaf from a florist shop, or a large ivy leaf that you might have in the garden, or something from a houseplant that you might have at home. But a single leaf is going to give more structure to the arrangement than that lightweight fluffy fern that I used in the beginning. So you should be able to see it just peeking out around the edges, and if we look from the top, it's coming through at the top there as well. Now to add a bit of contrast in colour, because the greenery that I placed in the very beginning was all very dark green. So another one from the garden that you might be familiar with, or you might not, is Alchemilla Mollis. This will grow nicely in a UK type garden with the same climate as I have here, although maybe it might not be quite as wet where you are. This is also available from a florist shop. It's an easy one to grow in the garden. It does tend to self-seed everywhere, so if you like really neat gardens, it might not be the best for you. But this is just going to add a bit of a contrast in the colour greens. It's going to give more of a citrusy, a zingy sort of green. The texture is quite similar to the fern that I used in the beginning, but the colour is very different, and it almost picks up on the lighter shades of the spray rose that I used in the very beginning. And the aim of this exercise really is just to show you that if you learn that basic shape at the beginning, so learn the first arrangement that I did in this video here, get to grips with choosing the right flowers and the right greenery for that arrangement, and then you can build up on those skills to create a design that's a bit fuller and a bit more impactful. So with the addition of the Alchemilla Mollis, we've now gone to a much more limey green colour combination. It's nice and fresh and very zingy. And to really change the shape, I'm going to add in the lovely rose. And this was the one that I couldn't remember the name of. It's very much like Alchemy, but I don't think it is. I can't remember what I ordered. And what I'm going to do the same method where I cut all of the roses to a similar length before I start, so that I know when I place them in, I'm almost going to create the right size and shape of arrangement because my roses have been cut beforehand. If you need to at this stage, you could remove some of the Gerbera and just pop them in a different location. But I'm trying to get an even distribution of this lovely colour. It's so perfect in this arrangement. And ideally what is on the left of the arrangement is on the right, and the colour brought through to the very top as well. So I've still got 2 flowers to go. And what I don't want to do is place them so they're perfectly matching on either side there. That looks like those headlights that I try to get you not to do. It looks like a pair of googly eyes staring at you. So what I'm going to do is just lift this one up slightly so they're on a different plane and they're on a different level. And now they're not staring at you quite so obvious. If we turn the arrangement round and have a look at these two, you can see a really clear example of how there are 2 flowers on the side of the arrangement, but they're not in perfect matching positions. And then my final rose is just going to pop there on the top. And I'm not going to aim for it to be directly in the centre facing upwards because it's going to be too dominant. I've angled it slightly to the side. You can just see here it's not right up facing the ceiling, it's slightly off to one side, and that gives them a more pleasing style. And I just found an extra rose, so what we're going to do is pop it. Where are we going to pop it? I think now I'm going to have to move this one more over to this side, so it's more to one side of a centre line. I'm just catching that Heuchera leaf underneath. There we are, it's back in the foam now. And then what I can do is put my final one on the other side. That I think is gorgeous. This would be amazing for a table centre at Christmas. And all the zingy greens match perfectly with my container. And this would be a really good example of a floral design that only has round type of flowers in it, and it doesn't use any line material to create that up and down movement. But I hope you've enjoyed it. So if you watched video number 1 and you want to progress onto another design, then learn the skills that I taught you in the first design, where we created a really basic design and then add some extra flowers and a different type of filler flower and foliage to create something that looks a little bit different. So I hope you've enjoyed that arrangement. Don't forget, as ever, to subscribe to the channel. It's really important. Hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new video, and leave a comment or a question in the box below. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye for now.